In 1970, Florida had a population of 6.8 million people. 55 years later, the state now has a population approaching 23 million, increasing by 16 million. And it's still growing. What is fueling the population growth of Florida? Let's take a look at the geography behind this trend. Florida is a state located in the southeastern United States and is physically a peninsula, surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. Florida has a rich and complex history marked by exploration, cultural exchange, and rapid growth. The Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon was among the first Europeans to land on Florida shores in 1513, claiming the area for Spain and naming it La Florida. Spanish, French, and British powers vied for control over the region until Florida was ceded to the United States in 1821. It became the 27th state in 1845, and its economy initially relied heavily on agriculture and cattle ranching. The early 20th century saw a transformation with the advent of railroads and the tourism industry, drawing people to its warm climate and beaches. In the post-World War II era, Florida experienced a population boom, which has made the state the third most populated in the nation after California and Texas. There are many physical and human geographical factors that have caused this substantial growth. Let's take a look at the current demographic data for Florida. As of 2023, the state has a total population of 22,610,726. But some data shows now that the number is above 23 million. Historically majority white, Florida is now a very diverse place, racially and ethnically, with 51.5% white and the largest minority group being Hispanics at 26.5%. Cubans make up the largest ethnic group of Hispanics at 6.5%, and Puerto Ricans are second at 4.5%. Blacks make up a sizable percentage of Florida's population at 15%, with most living in the urbanized areas. One determinant is greatly associated with age. As of 2020, Florida contains the highest percentage of people over 65 years old of any state, at 17.3%. Now that we're in 2025, the number may even be higher, considering that many baby boomers, people who were born between 1945 and 1964, are senior citizens. By 2029, all baby boomers will be 65 years and older. Florida has been a haven for retirees for decades, and now that a large portion of the population is aging, many of these people who live in northern and midwestern states want to relocate to an area with a better year-round climate, which Florida has. Many retirement developments have been constructed in the state, including the Villages, one of the largest and fastest growing retirement communities in the United States and Florida's friendliest hometown. Other than older people moving to Florida, lots of young people have too, especially one other category known as trust fund babies, younger individuals who have inherited lots of money from their parents or grandparents. Miami, Florida's second most populated city and largest metropolitan area population, is a destination where many rich young people go to live. The city's appeal to affluent families and younger generations with inherited wealth stems from its vibrant lifestyle, warm climate, high-end amenities, and a thriving nightlife and cultural scene. For the working people, Florida has also been an attractive state to move to and live in. The state's lack of state income tax has attracted people from high-tax states looking to save on their income. Florida has a state GDP of nearly $1.7 trillion, ranked 4th in the nation and 15th if the state were a nation. In recent decades, Florida's economy has fully diversified. Tourism and hospitality are at the forefront, with world-famous attractions like Disney World and vibrant destinations like Miami. Healthcare and life sciences are also booming due to Florida's large aging population, supporting careers in medicine, nursing, and health administration. Aerospace and aviation thrive around Cape Canaveral with major companies like SpaceX and Boeing. Financial services play a strong role, especially in Miami's Latin American-focused finance sector, while agriculture continues to flourish with crops like citrus and sugarcane. The state's population growth fuels demand in construction and real estate, and a budding tech scene is emerging in cities like Miami and Tampa. Florida's location also supports a busy trade and logistics industry, connecting to international markets through major ports. With the strong economy of Florida comes other benefits, such as a more affordable real estate market. While states in the Northeast such as New Jersey and New York, as well as western states like California, have high real estate prices for homes, Florida's isn't nearly as high, particularly in inland suburban communities outside of Tampa, Orlando, and Jacksonville. And property taxes, even on homes that are $1 million, are incredibly low compared to a state like New Jersey, where property taxes are among the highest in the nation. Another shift in Florida's increasing population came within the last 5 years, since 2020. In March of 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic spread worldwide, shutting down economies and leading to detrimental effects. While virtually every state imposed some sort of mandates on activities, Florida wasn't as harsh with them. By early May of 2020, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis allowed restaurants, retail stores, and other businesses to open at reduced capacities, except for ones within the Miami area which had higher recorded cases. By early June, bars, movie theaters, and other entertainment venues were allowed to open with reduced capacities, and on September 25, 2020, DeSantis signed an executive order lifting capacity limits on restaurants and bars, prohibiting local governments from fining individuals for not wearing masks, and limiting the ability of local governments to impose COVID-related fines or restrictions. This full reopening made Florida one of the first states to return to near-normal operations during the pandemic, focusing on maintaining open businesses and schools with minimal state-imposed restrictions. On the other hand, many other states, especially democratically run ones, had mandates such as closures, reduced capacities, and mask requirements that lasted well into 2021 and even into early 2022. These mandates were seen to some as excessive due to them causing businesses to fail. But in Florida, between 2020 and 2021, the state experienced one of the highest levels of population growth in the country, with an estimated net migration of hundreds of thousands of people. Governor DeSantis was both praised and criticized for his handling of the pandemic in Florida, although current studies have shown that Florida's death rate from COVID was equal or slightly worse than states which imposed strict mandates. The reason why the death rate might have been a little higher some years is due to Florida's 65-plus population, as it has the highest percentage of any state. Older people were more vulnerable to getting severely ill from COVID. While there are incentives to live in Florida, not all is positive. Physically, Florida is very flat and non-mountainous, with much of Florida sitting on top of limestone, specifically a layer known as the Floridian Aquifer, which extends beneath most of the state and into parts of neighboring states. This has made parts of the state extremely susceptible to sinkholes. The sedimentary limestone bedrock is porous and prone to dissolution by acidic groundwater, a process called karstification. Unfortunately, this may go unnoticed on the surface and result in sudden collapses of the ground, resulting in collapsing structures and sometimes death or injury. Ecologically, much of Central and South Florida is swampland, and this can lead to its own fair share of problems. The warm, humid climate is a haven for bugs, including mosquitoes, cockroaches, and other insects. Mosquitoes are a carrier of many different types of diseases, and Florida had cases of the Zika virus during the 2016 and 2017 endemic. Another ecological hazard is wildlife. Florida's natural beauty includes a variety of wildlife, some of which can be dangerous. Alligators, snakes, and even invasive species like Burmese pythons can pose a risk to residents. Alligators are not threatened, and their populations have increased, leading to more encounters with humans. But the encounters with wildlife have been fueled by overdevelopment. Florida's population growth has led to rapid development, sometimes at the expense of natural areas like wetlands and wildlife habitats. This has raised concerns about environmental sustainability and water quality. The good news is that the Everglades, a federally protected park, is banned from being developed on, so development from the Miami metropolitan area can't infringe into it. Another weather-related risk of living in Florida is hurricanes. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, and the peak is on September 10th. Historically, Florida has been directly affected by several large hurricanes, including the 1928 Okeechobee hurricane, which was the state's deadliest, killing 2,000 plus people, the 1935 Labor Day hurricane, severely damaging Key West, Hurricane Andrew in 1992, destroying the community of Homestead, the 2004 hurricane season, where 4 storms directly struck the state, and Hurricane Michael in 2018, which severely affected the Panhandle. This past year, Hurricane Helene and Milton made direct landfalls on Florida's Gulf Coast, producing a massive storm surge and creating damages within many coastal communities. Future hurricanes may create more damage for Florida on the account of overdevelopment, particularly near the coast. Florida's impressive population growth over the past 5 decades reflects a combination of appealing geographic, economic, and lifestyle factors. The state's warm climate, lack of state income tax, diversified economy, and abundant recreational opportunities continue to attract people of all ages. Retirees are drawn to its comfortable weather and active senior communities, while young professionals and affluent families are increasingly making Florida home for its dynamic cities and cultural appeal. Recent trends, including Florida's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, have further contributed to a surge in migration from states with stricter mandates, enhancing its appeal as a business-friendly environment. However, Florida's growth also presents unique challenges. Its flat topography, susceptibility to sinkholes, and vulnerability to hurricanes are ever-present risks for residents. Additionally, the impact of development on natural habitats and local wildlife has raised environmental concerns, especially in ecologically sensitive areas like the Everglades. Ultimately, Florida's geographic and economic strengths position it as an increasingly popular destination, while also calling for careful management of the state's resources and infrastructure to sustain its growth and protect its natural beauty. As Florida's population continues to grow, the state will play even a larger role on the national stage, expressing both the benefits and complexities of rapid development in a unique and evolving landscape. Do you currently live in Florida? Or would you ever want to move there in the future? I'd love to hear your feedback, so voice your opinion in the comment section below. That concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy geography, both physical and human geography, you like this channel. So be sure to subscribe to my channel, Our World Our Planet Our Home, to view more content. Until next time!